Just a little bit.
Can you get in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to move this down so I can, like.
Make sure that don't fall off of me.
Yeah.
You got it? Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Are you in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we're live. All right. We're 1 minute into this video. Okay. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the Mighty One, Angel Snub 7, and oh man, I just cannot ever forget, always in the name of our ancestors. I am the Mighty One, Angel Snub 7, and also your soul brother, number 1. And welcome to a special edition of of this ministry program. This is your brother Angel, and I am live in Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Sister Noble Levine. Did I say that correctly?
Yes. Yes.
Noble Levine, and we want to talk to Sister Noble Levine about a subject that we was having a conversation about, and we're going to talk about the elite chipping the world, something to that.
The elites plan to microchip the world.
I'm tired out of my mind. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm doing this all the time. I'm sorry. But anyway, before we get into that subject, Sister, if you like to, could you tell the people a little bit about yourself? Because, as far as I'm concerned, Sister is a well-renowned writer. That's what she's known for. And some of you may also recognize the sister as a famous YouTuber back in the day. We don't want to talk about your past. No. I don't think she wants to talk about the past. So we're going to skip that. But we want to talk about her and her blog. She's a very excellent writer. I've been following Sister's writings for years. And matter of fact, that's what's bringing us to the subject today. One of her articles, which I'm pretty sure she's going to explain, that can be found on, was it Black Political Media?
Black Political Media.
So I just let her introduce herself, give a little bit of background, then we're going to get into this subject matter. So let you talk to Sister Noble Levine. Right?
Yes, I am Noble Levine. I've been Noble Levine. I've been on YouTube a long time. I used to be a blogger, a regular blogger on YouTube years ago. But now I am a regular writer, and I have a news magazine called the Black Political Media. Okay, that's Black Political Media. I write all kinds of subjects ranging from religion to extraterrestrial phenomenon. Okay, I am an occult researcher. I've been writing since I was a child, since I was 13. I am also an historian. I write a lot of historical pieces. I write a lot of religious. I write a lot of religious articles. I write a lot of, articles about the occult, even about extraterrestrial phenomena. So, with that being said, I wrote an article recently entitled "Microchip Implanting: The Beginning of a Cashless Society," and it was based on a recent article that I read by The Guardian. And it was about UK employees receiving the microchip. That's what it was about. It was about UK employees being implanted with a microchip the size of a grain of rice, between the thumb and forefinger. And I remember, how my pastor taught many years now about a mark that they will be giving the people in the end times. And this mark is known as the mark of the beast. We believe that microchip implanting, at some point in our history, in U.S. history, a ruthless world leader will come up, he will arise, and he will cause the entire world to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And nobody will be able to buy or sell. Nobody will be able to buy or sell unless he has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is in Revelation chapter 13. Check it out when you get a chance. Read it for yourself. Do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Do your own research. Because I've done mine. I've thoroughly done my research over the years. And you can check out my article called Microchip Implanting, the Beginning of a Cashless Society. Because that's what we're moving toward anyway, a cashless society. Understand that the US dollar is virtually worthless. It's really only worth 16 cents on the dollar now. And once the US dollar fails in value, it won't be worth anything. It won't be worth anything. It won't buy you a lot. If the US dollar collapses in value, it won't buy you a lot. It won't buy you a lot of goods because it's worthless. Right now, Venezuela is experiencing an economic crisis with the Bolivar. The Bolivar is worthless in Venezuela as of today. And this economic crisis, it happened so quickly. It came about in 2013. And, right now, the people of Venezuela are really struggling just to survive. There's a shortage of everything in Venezuela. A shortage of food, a shortage of gas. Everything is very scarce in the country of Venezuela. And millions of people have left the country as a result of the economic crisis since 2013. They say that the people have lost weight because of the scarcity of food in Venezuela. People are losing weight. They have lost weight. And many people are in a situation now where they can't afford the medicine in Venezuela. They can't afford it. They can't afford even a bag of groceries. Understand that the Bolivar, 250,000 Bolivars is worth $1 US. These people are walking around with bags of cash. Bags of cash, this thick. Bags of cash, each this thick. And they can't even afford to buy even a month's worth of grocery on that. Do you understand? They can only buy a bag of groceries. Because it doesn't matter how many bolivars they have, they can be walking around with sacks of cash and can only buy a bag of rice. That's how bad it is in Venezuela as of now. So don't ever think that we in the US will never experience an economic crisis, because in the times past we have experienced an economic crisis. We almost came close in 2008 to the dollar collapsing in value, almost, with the Wall Street crisis. Now, understand that, the mark of the beast is just what it is. It has been predicted that this mark that the world will be required to take will be implanted in the right hand or in the forehead. This is in the Bible. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. We believe that this microchip technology is leading toward the microchipping of every citizen in the entire world. This technology has already been perfected. It is currently being implanted in a lot of U.S. workers as I speak.
Mm-hmm.
The person, the person in the article, he is the founder of a company called Biotech. A person in the article, his name is Stephen Northam. He is the founder of a company called Biotech. And he himself has been implanted with a microchip. Not only him, but his directors, a lot of his employees have been implanted with a microchip the size of a grain of rice, okay? That's how small it is. And they're planning on microchipping a lot of workers in Europe, in Asia. A lot of workers are being implanted with these microchips as I speak in Europe, in Asia, and in the US. This technology, I believe, is leading toward a cashless society where the dollar bill will be obsolete in the near future. The credit card, the debit card will become obsolete in the near future. And everything, your medical history, your financial history will be in that microchip that is implanted between your thumb and forefinger or in your forehead at some point in our history. This mark will be forced upon all earth inhabitants. All earth inhabitants. Nobody will be able to refuse to take this mark unless he want to die. And that's how serious it's going to be, according to the book of Revelation.
Hold on a second. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm saying what I had to say.
Yeah. So, and what was it? We was talking about earlier about this microchipping thing has been going on a long time, and just like anything else, it's a slow process, little by little type thing, and it comes in the guise of so for instance, you probably remember too, sister. The first time that you see some of this microchipping technology, you see it in animals, people with pets, and you put the microchip in the animal so that they can find your pet when your pet runs away or whatever. And another place is that some people began to or wanted to microchip their children, because a lot of children runaways and whatever. You put a chip in that child, and they can track their children down. The microchip has been used for basically. Sorry about that. Y'all know how it is on live TV. This thing be buffering or whatever. But yeah, what was I was talking about? Oh, they use the microchip technology to track, to basically be a tracking device, because they also use it when they capture animals in the wild. And they want to know what the animals are doing, whatever. And they put the chip in the ear or somewhere on the animal, so they can keep a track of the animal. So we do know that microchip can be used simply as a tracking device to keep it with you. But when you really look at it, brothers and sisters, see, some of y'all might say, I'm not gonna do that or whatever. Well, see, many of us now use credit cards, and that's a means of tracking you, because wherever you purchase, did you know that your computer is a way of tracking you? Every time you use the computer, somebody out there, they're tracking your movements on the computer. In this world of technological advancement, all of this is a means and there's a way of tracking and keeping a record of people. A lot of criminals are getting caught easier now because of that technology. Every time they swipe a credit card, they steal a credit card, and all this stuff can be traced. Even your car, they got GPS tracking technology in cars. The police don't have to run around chasing nothing. They can just wait till you get where you going and arrest you when the car stops. They don't have to do those high-speed chases. They can. You got North Star and these different technologies in these newer cars. They can track you down. It's all about keeping an eye on the slaves, on the sheep. We are the sheep. We are the cattle that the higher ups need to keep an eye on. So I remember, what's the name? Osama bin Laden.
Yes.
The reason why they were having a lot of problems trying to find people like Osama bin Laden, because they knew they had to stop using that type of technology and go back primitive, because it's much more difficult to track you the normal way than with technology. It's much easier actually to track somebody when you carrying a cell phone. They know where you at with your cell phone, and many of y'all can't do without a cell phone. You watching me right here on YouTube right now, probably on your cell phone, and they watching you, watching me, because of your cell phone. You cannot escape it, and all this is brought in as something that is normal. Your cell phone, using the cell, I'm just talking to people, but yeah, not only can the cell phone be used to track you, but they actually can listen to your conversations easier than on the old landlines. So it's a way of tracking you. It's a way of controlling. And we was also talking, sister, about the possibility of mind control with this microchip technologies, because we was talking also because of the placement of that microchip. And we need to do a little bit more research on this, but we're just putting this idea out here. But you can place that microchip in a specific part of your. I think there's a major nerve that goes through your hands, because he was talking about where they're putting that. I think there's a major nerve or something in there, in your hand, and of course your nerves is all connected to your brain. So this could also be the beginning of some sort of mind control, zombie have you in reality in a different way. It's according to where that microchip is, because that can be used for a means of control.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you this. Now, when I was locked up a few years back, I was locked up with a guy. His name was Joe Cunningham. I don't know. Joe might be passed. I don't know what happened to Joe. But when I first met Joe, Joe said and told us that when he was young, he didn't say exactly how young, because he said he could barely remember, but he remembered what happened to him. He remembered clearly. Okay, we back live. We was buffering. Okay, now let me go back where I was at. I was talking about Joe Cunningham. Y'all have to excuse us. Then the technology is not perfect. It's buffering, whatever. But we was talking about Joe Cunningham. Now, we got a viewer. Hi, you out there, viewer?
Hello.
Nobody in the chat room yet. But this is spontaneous. I really didn't expect nobody to join us anyway. They'll check it out, later. But we do have one friend so far, and some others. It's according to how long when they notice that you're on the air, more people are joining. Yeah. But we're making this short and sweet. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna bring it to conclusion. But Joe Cunningham was somebody that I was locked up with, and of course, I was locked up in the crazy house. So one of the things that Joe said to us when he was locked up, he said that he doesn't remember exactly how old he was, but he was young, but he does remember laying on a table, and he believes that he was implanted a chip in the back of his ear somewhere. That's what Joe told us.
Yes.
Okay. Back live again. I am so sorry. I don't own the technology. Blame YouTube. It's throwing me off, though, because I'm trying to get into this story, and this thing keeps cutting off on me. Anyway, Joe Cunningham with me in the crazy house. And, of course, if you was in an insane asylum, and somebody tell you they put a microchip, something in my brain, you would look at folks like, yeah, this is the crazy house. You know, with me. And I did at first when Joe was saying this. I said to myself, yeah, he might, you know. And then I'm in a place where people are suffering hallucinations due to drug addiction and whatever, blah blah blah. So I'm sort of like, when I first heard Joe's story, I'm like, he's tripping off some drug, you know, he's drug withdrawals or something like that. But then it got to the point where Joe kept messing with this part of his face. And I'm like, well, I mean, I still could assume that it's something to do with his delusions, his hallucination. But I mean, it was just too, you know, his the way he kept messing with his ear. Even I saw the man, even when he was half asleep, he was tugging it with his ear. He said, I want this out of my head. I want this out of my head. And so now, in 2018, I'm thinking about this. And you know, Sister was talking about the microchip. Today's microchip is like it's a
The size of a grain of rice.
size of a grain of rice. But see, back in the day, it just used to be like a thin disc, like a penny. Back in the day. And that was the disc in the experimental stages. And it just so happened, myself and the sister, I was telling her about Joe's experience, what Joe was telling us. And Joe said, now Joe was older than me. I think he was, this was 2000 or early 2000. Anyway, Joe was older than me. And Joe was probably a child in the early 1950s or whatever, late 1950s. That's when he was a child. Yeah, this thing is, but I keep apologizing, but y'all know what's going on. It's buffering. But I want to try to get through this story here about Joe Cunningham. Joe Cunningham was probably a small child in the late 1950s or whatever. Now, my sister was just strolling through. When you was just strolling through?
Yeah, I did some research on the microchip, beginning of the microchip,
Yeah.
and actually, it was created in 1958. It was first created in 1958. I forgot the name of the man who created it, but you know, it was technology dating back to the late 1950s.
Mm-hmm. And from the time that the microchip was being developed or created, by the time Joe was a small boy, it could be a possibility. And see, brothers and sisters, you know they always use us for experiments. You know, next to monkeys and rabbits or whatever, let me catch us a Negro. And I don't know what Joe's family life was, but it don't seem as though he could have been in a position where he could have been exploited as a child. And maybe what he was talking about, this microchip in his brain, it might not have been his hallucination. This is something that happened because if you're a child and when they do surgery, they put you to sleep. And the only thing he remembered, he felt somebody messing with his head. And then, you know, you just wake up with this small, it don't take a big incision to put this microchip in your brain. So who's to say that Joe wasn't one of the first recipients of this tracking device, this microchip? You know, microchips can carry a whole lot of information in 2018. But back when Joe was a small child, it probably simply was maybe a tracking device of some sort. It didn't hold a whole lot of information. It was a way to track this person. Because, you know, when they did the Tuskegee experiment, they wanted to track syphilis. It's all about tracking, seeing how things move. And, you know, tracking animals. They want to see your movements. What do? You know, what your habits and all this type of things. It's tracking. It's about control. It's about wanting to know. So you can, so how we can learn more information on how better to control somebody. So let's see how let's see how Negroes, what do they do in their life? So as a little boy, he gets tracked. And Joe kept messing with his ear all the time. I can't believe that it's just his delusions or hallucination. When I saw this man just constantly, he would cry. I got to get this out of my ear. He never goes to the other side. The place where he said that where the microchip word is, he had the surgery, that's the only side. And sometimes he would scratch and pull at his ear so much, sometimes it caused it to bleed. So now that we've come up to 2018 and we speak about this tracking, not tracking device, which of course it could be, but we talk about microchipping. And let me say this, I'm going to say this in our conclusion. See, right now, there are companies who have microchipped employees. And this microchip control, instead of having these swipe cards and things, you put this microchip, I think they were saying, in their fingers or something like that.
Between the forefinger and the thumb.
Right. And what they're doing now, the microchip can open doors, give you access, where once you had to swipe, yeah, so, again, I apologize for the buffering, going in and out, technical difficulties. But these things, microchip technology, and a lot of these things that we are given to, that has just become a part of our life. This microchip in your hand can use to be open doors, and pretty soon, like the sister said, it could become a cashless society because everything your debit card or credit card can do, you can do it with this microchip.
Yes.
It don't hurt. It's not gonna bother you, nothing, whatever. But you can just swipe it against a scanner and all the information, your medical records and all. I also heard, I think it was at your church.
Yes.
The sister pastor was talking about it may be mandatory when you are in the service. Instead of those dog tags, they put that microchip in the body of the soldier.
Yes.
Instead of the dog tags. It's a way of identification, a way of tracking. And it also may become mandatory if you go to prison and you get microchip. And when they release you, it's an easier way to keep your track of their, your felons or whatever. Once they get released out of, in a way that might be sort of good when it comes to pedophiles.
Oh, no.
Yeah, keep an eye on your pedophile. You track them, and so you keep an eye on your.
Yeah.
It might be good in some cases. It might be
good for them. Yeah.
Yeah, for pedophiles, keep them away from children. See what they're doing. This pedophile not supposed to be in a school zone where there's children.
Yes.
And you can see where he's going. Oh, he's near a zone. You can call the police and catch this cat before he's caused more damage.
Yeah.
In some look, see, all technology, there's a good side and a bad side. Unfortunately, for a lot of this technology, it's for evil purposes.
Exactly.
Now tracking a pedophile or some other deviant that might cause harm to society, we understand. But see, we know that these technologies and these things they're not really designed for that. Matter of fact, it's a selling point, but you don't know. They may be after the pedophile or some criminal, but when it's all said and done, you and I are the real targets.
Exactly.
To track your movements. And like I said, it also could become a form of mind control. When we talk about putting it in the forehead.
Yes.
Mind control. So, again, a lot of this technology we accept and we embrace because it don't come in the form of something that you think that's going to cause you any kind of harm. And again, like your telephone, it's a tracking device. But if you go off the road somewhere, you're stranded down the hill, it's good. You can be found. Peace, brother Guy. We're getting ready to wrap this up. We're having technical difficulties. But myself and the sister, we just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about this microchip technology crap. Also, I wanted y'all to make sure, because our sister here, Noble, she's an excellent writer. And we're going to put in the description box. I want you to support our sister here. She's an excellent writer. We need to read more, people.
And check me out. Check me out on Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. We're going to put the sister's Patreon account and the other blog, Black Politico Media. Yeah, so we can read, y'all. It's wonderful to, of course, to watch videos. But it's also important for us to read. For those of you who are Muslims, what was one of the first commandments that was given by Allah to Prophet Muhammad? And one of the first commandments to a man that could not read. Remember, Prophet Muhammad could not read. But one of the orders, the first orders that Allah gave to the Prophet was, read in the name of thy Lord. So that goes to show us the importance of reading. Now, listening to videos is wonderful. I know y'all like listening to me. I know that. But it's also very important to read. You know, just like the sister said, it's very important. You cannot explore other sources. Peace, Syrian. Glad to see you. We've been on here for about almost a half an hour or whatever. This is spontaneous. We just wanted to come on here and talk. But I'm glad y'all finally found us and noticed that we was on the air, but we're basically done. Also, we've been experiencing a lot of technical difficulties. But yeah, I just want to introduce my sister here, and you're going to be hearing more from her as time goes on, because we want to get you to read in the name of thy Lord, because that's how because knowledge is power, and you get that power through reading. So, with that said, oh, Brother Bakari, I said it right. Did I say it right? Brother Bakari. I said it right. I believe I said that, brothers. For some reason, I just could not get that brother's name right to save my life. Brother Bakari, Syrian, and Brother Guy. Brother Guy, I watched your video. Sure did. Left a comment. Brother Bakari, I get back with you, brother. You know, I'm sort of on the busy side here. Yeah, he said I said it right. Syrian says, after the true Jews return to Zion, the Antichrist will rise. That's what Zion. He's one of my Christian friends. Love you, Syrian. But yeah, thank y'all for showing up in the last minute. This was spontaneous, you know. We're going to have to get, do a program consistently, maybe every Sunday. Oh, I just want to say this too before I leave. We was with our sister Rashida Strober last night. And wonderful play. My sister, it was wonderful play.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, wonderful place. Sister Rashida. So we all know each other for real, not just YouTube land. Sister Rashida was live. I got my hug from Sister Rashida, and she just did an excellent job on her play, all these different characters. But yeah, I'm gonna put the information not only in this video, but from in all my videos that I post from now on. My sister here, Sister Noble, support her. Is that a magazine or just an article?
Well, news magazine. My news magazine is Black Political Media,
Right.
and my Patreon. That's something different.
That's something different.
That's something different.
But we want to support our
we're
sister.
gonna put the links in
I'm gonna
in the video.
Yeah, in the video, and I'm gonna do that in all my videos. Her information will be there, and you're gonna hear more from Sister, and to be more up to date on the subject matter. Make sure that you go to her magazine so that you can keep up to date and
Or my Patreon.
on her Patreon. Yeah, because you'll be posting that stuff on your Patreon
Yes,
also.
yes.
Right. So, and also donate to the Patreon. Just don't just read it. Just donate to the sister. Help a sister out a little bit, little tiny, you know. And also, I know that y'all. Oh, Sister Rashida gave me a very perfect opportunity last night. I promoted Operation Exodus Mississippi last night with Rashida, and the people seemed like they understood and embraced what I had to say. So December the 9th of this year, Soul Liberation Day, I'm going to officially kick off the campaign, and I'm glad that some of the rubbish that was with us and some of the problems, we've got that out in the air, and we got some of that off before we officially kick this off. Because I'm telling you, I really, really feel as though that campaign is the way to go. We need to do that. But the only way it can be successful, it has to become national. And you and I both know that's going to be a lot of work. Matter of fact, you're almost looking at almost the impossible. But that's cool, because I don't mind trying the impossible. When I was locked up, they told me to get out of that place was impossible. Well, you see, I'm sitting here, so I must have done the impossible. But see, that's me. I don't control 40 to 70 million brothers and sisters, soul brothers and sisters in this nation. I don't control you. See, I know what I'm willing to do and what I would do. I don't control it. I don't control that. Now, if you truly want liberation, this is the way to go. And anything that you got, just bring it under this one umbrella. We will be successful. But all these different directions that we got going, it's not going to work. I'm telling you, it's not. We got to learn how to compromise. We're going to have to learn how to tolerate other people's differences. Everybody don't like black and red checkered shirts. Some people couldn't stand this shirt. What am I getting ready to do? Go chop down a tree or something? Am I a lumberjack or something? You know, everybody is not the same. Everybody is not the same. We got to learn how to embrace each other's differences. We're not going to believe the same. Who wants to be in a world like that anyway? I don't want everybody the same. I want to be, what's the sense of traveling around the world and everybody the same? You might as well stay home. Ain't that right?
Yes, yes.
You might as well stay home. What's the sense of traveling? If you go around the world and everybody the same.
Everybody look the same.
Everybody look the same. Doing the same thing.
Everybody the same color.
Having the same conversation.
Ooh, child.
You know, what kind of world is this? That's not reality. The world that we live in is diverse. As we said in religious texts, when God created birds, God didn't create just one bird. All right, brother Taalik is in the house too. Greetings, everybody. But we having technical difficulties, and like I said, this was spontaneous, and we just wanted to come on the air. I want to introduce to you guys our sister Noble Levine and her news magazine. The description, everything, her information will be in the description box of this video. If not now, when I get the time, I throw it in there. And also, her information will be in all Reality's Temple videos. Her information, and you will be able to talk and communicate and speak with this sister and listen to her. In the future, more and more as time goes by. But with that said, y'all, we have to tolerate our differences. If we don't, we're done. The only future that you're gonna have, I can see, is those mass graves. That's the only thing I see. And see, the thing about it is, you don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. But in order to avoid those mass graves, we're gonna have to do something with each other. Otherwise, you don't like me, but they might throw my body on top of yours in the grave. So, what kind of unity? Do you want unity while we are alive, or would you rather dead down at the bottom of a mass grave?
And somebody said, I think you're too tolerant.
I'm too tolerant. Oh, I'm too tolerant. How can you be too tolerant? That's, we have to get off this self-righteous high horse. It has nothing. What is too tolerant? When you're trying to save your life. That's it. I'm going to say this because we're having technical difficulties. There are racist Caucasian people that hate black folks. But when it comes to saving their life and they need an organ, they'll be happy to put that black lung or that black heart or whatever in their body, but they hate black folks so much to save their life. This is a life and death situation. So what do you mean by that? You're trying to save your life. But see, you're so comfortable. You're comfortable being a Negro in America. You're comfortable in this. And so since you're comfortable, you really don't trip because you feel you don't need your brother and sister. Or I don't need you. They gay, I don't need them. They crackhead, I don't need them. Because you think you don't need nobody. But that's all right. Because when all of you find yourself at the bottom of a mass grave, it don't make no difference anyway. But when you're trying to save your life, and Brother Guy made a video talking about the race war. When you're talking about a race war, they don't care nothing about you being a homosexual. They don't care about you being a Muslim or Christian. They see a nigger. That's all they see. They're not interested in all this stuff that y'all tripping off of. That's all they see. And until you understand that, you'll pay a big price the consequence would be at the bottom of a mass grave. Now, I'm older. People keep making fun of me because you're old. I'm glad I'm older because maybe I might die before it really gets to rolling. So I that's good. But for y'all younger people, you will be here. You will be here to see what's finna happen.
And you don't want to be here.
And you don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here.
No. Or you be out of the country someday.
I mean, I'm 44 and I don't want to be here to
Right.
see it happen.
So, hey.
So,
Hey. I mean, it's your choice. It's just your choice. All actions have consequence, bad and good. It's up to you. Me personally, I don't care. Whatever y'all want to do. You want to live? Cool. Well, let's try to live. You want to die? Well, I can't die with you. Except by natural circumstance. Because I got, look, let me tell you something. I got plan B. We working on plan B here. We're not going to get stuck. And we claim that we know better. There were Jews who had a plan B and got the hell out of Nazi Germany. Because they heeded the warning.
yes, they did.
And they got out. But for those who thought it was a game, or it couldn't happen, they was comfortable Negroes. Next thing you know, they found themselves in a mass grave or starving to death in some concentration camp, getting gassed or burned up in ovens. It's your choice. It's your choice. We have been warned. So, with that said, before we get cut off again, because this thing, no, it's tripping. For myself, Sister Noble, until next time, y'all, thank you, everybody in the chat room. Thank you for all y'all who watching. This is spontaneous. We're going to be more consistent. Maybe, hopefully, every Sunday at 2:30. That's what I would like to do. We do something consistent every Sunday at 2:30. That's what I want to do. But we got Sister Noble. If I'm not available, she'll be doing something maybe during that time. We have other brothers and sisters getting on board. We'll be able to be more consistent on it. But this is serious business, y'all. And if you don't want to take it serious because you say you don't want to tolerate, well, you can already. All right, that's your business. You know, when you're trying to save your life, and we was talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
You know, when you're trying to save your life, you got a lot of those people out here talk about, I don't eat no pork. I'm a vegetarian. When times get hard, the right circumstance, and you don't have no food at all, you talk about you don't eat no pork. You'll see a pig and eat the hell out of a pork chop. Tell me what you will and won't do. Get the hell out of here. I'm a vegetarian. That vegetarian be eating the hell out of a pork chop too.